All right. Well, Devin, it's really great to be speaking with you, and I would love it if you could please share, a little bit of who you are and what you do.
Sure. So I'm a 20 plus year executive marketer. I've been working in publishing and comms for a number of years. I was at a management consulting firm for a number of years, and I left at the end of COVID. And then in my transition back into the full time market after consulting for a little bit, I've had some, difficulty in getting a full time gig, and I called Danielle here that I'm talking to, and that's where we are right now.
Yeah,
After transition and been able to get a full time gig.
nice. Can you share a bit more about the specific challenge that you had when we first started working together? And I remember this very clearly, but I'd love for you to
Yeah.
share. Yeah.
So I think the challenge is I didn't know what I was doing wrong. And I think through some Q&A with Danielle and just trying out, simulation and just doing exercises, I was able to learn that there were specific, nods and nooks, either physically or how I was answering questions.
Yeah.
And with your help, Danielle, I've been able to correct a lot of those mistakes, and they've been very beneficial to how I'm interviewing and talking on Zoom today.
Nice. You know what really struck me when we first spoke was that you had been on 50 interviews before we talked, right? And you remember what you told me? That
Yeah, so I'm sorry.
you were always the bridesmaid and not the bride.
Yeah, yeah, so I was never really the perfect candidate. And I think, people picked up on maybe some quirks or how I was acting, or they were, I think, in getting those things out of my system, I was able to really hone in on the job that I really wanted and get that gig.
Yeah, it was like, you have such amazing experience, right? And there was a reason why you were getting those interviews. You're obviously super qualified, super capable, but it was like how you were showing up in your interviews. I think that really needed to be tweaked, right? And you did that really successfully. Yeah. And so how did you find the program and overall the work that we did? How did that specifically impact you?
Yeah, I think the work that I did was really honed to my needs. And I think Danielle was very thoughtful. Thank you. In helping me find the nooks and crannies of what I needed to fix. And that enabled me to really be successful in
Nice.
interviewing online.
Nice. And do you want to share a little bit about the result that you were able to achieve?
So yeah, I mean, after I had my sessions with Danielle, I started interviewing again. I took a little break. I had a number of final rounds, and then after a couple months, I actually got a offer, and that's at a very successful organization. And instead of a director role, they're hiring me as a VP.
Nice. Congratulations. I'm so excited for you. Like, how does
Thank
it
you.
feel to have that offer and to be, when are you starting?
So I'm starting right after Labor Day weekend. I'm pretty excited about the role. I have a couple people working for me, and it's going to be a new challenge. It's a slightly different industry, but I'm looking forward to really helping this organization grow in marketing and digital.
Nice. What's your formal title then?
My former title,
No, the formal title, VP of.
they really haven't spelled that out yet. It's
Okay.
I think I'll have some input into that. That's why. So could be VP of digital or something of that nature.
Okay. Nice. Nice. So how does it feel to be in that place where you've finally landed that role from, the 50 plus interviews that you'd had to this state now?
Um, I haven't started yet, so I don't feel it yet. But that's only because of how I am. I prefer the journey than the outcome.
Ah, I see. Yes, and
So
it
it's
is
just
very
how I
fresh.
am.
Yes.
But I think my mom's very relieved. You should hear her face. So I
Moms
would
worry
say
about
that.
us, don't they? Yeah.
Yes, yes. But I think, a lot of my friends are very, they're like, congrats and all that. I think I'll feel it when I get there day one. I think that's the idea too. And it's nice to be when you're talking to the leadership of the organization that I'm joining, they really think I'm going to make a big difference. And that I think that's really key. How I can come in there, work with them, and be able to actually grow their business.
Yeah. Just going back to some of the work that we did together with preparing for interviews, we did the mock interview and all of that, right? And I always talk about people have, blind spots. We all have blind spots. Did you find that you had blind spots in terms of how you were answering certain interview questions and we were able to highlight that?
Yeah, I think there's a number of things, Danielle, that you helped me with. One of them is just I had blind spots of how I was looking at and just looking at using Zoom and doing the meetings and through just practice and adding a little tag that says look here and a couple of things like that and then also just answering the questions in an appropriate way so that they weren't a detraction but actually an addition to an organization wanting to hire me.
Yeah, it's like being a strategic on how you're answering certain questions, right? So it doesn't raise red flags that don't need to be there, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. I know that's some of the work that we did. What would you tell someone who's considering working with me in my program?
I think, not one size fits all. I think it's about talking with you, Danielle, and then coming up with a program that really fits the needs of everybody that comes to you. And I can see some of your clients needing a package, and some of them being a little bit more individualized with what like I did. So
Mm-hmm.
I think they're and I think it's a bonus to be able to do that because I talked to four or five other different coaches before I could find you, Danielle, and all of them were terrible. I mean,
Oh,
honestly. So,
wow.
um,
Well,
yeah.
thank you for that. Thank you for that. And, I mean, I certainly different coaches for different people and all of that, right? But I mean, for you, what I saw is that you were already getting the interviews and you didn't need my help with that, right? You needed my help with what happened in the interviews and with the negotiations. Anything else that you would love to share?
No, I think overall, I'm very pleased. And Danielle, you're one of the specialties here that I've needed. And I think it's an invaluable resource for people that definitely have a lot of skills, but need to hone those coaching skills in interviewing, and especially in today's environment with Zoom. These things are just really important. And coaching is just really important as well for individuals that really need it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story, Devin. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.